2022, a year that has been eventful. Tonight, TV47 takes stock of the major events that have shaped 2022, 365 days later. Take a look.
This building, after
the news of the demise of former Attorney General Charles Njonjo in his home in Muthaiga, Nairobi on the 2nd of January 2022 seemingly dimmed the celebrations that had rocked the country as Kenyans ushered in the new year. Njonjo was the last surviving member of Kenya's first cabinet, constituted in 1963. He distinguished himself with his trademark pinstripe suits and his unique taste for all things British. The Duke of Kabeteshire, as popularly nicknamed, died at the age of 101.
For the unacceptable state of affairs.
However, Njonjo's death wasn't to be the first and last in the year. 4 months later, the country was saddened by the death of the second president of Kenya, Stanley Emilio Mwai Kibaki. Leaders in the country and beyond pay their tributes to a man who revolutionized the country's economy and created comical moments in his speech.
And as Kenyans did say during our campaign, we are truly unbogable. And we are bound to succeed.
In the month of September, the country joined the world in mourning the death of Queen Elizabeth II. The death of the Queen brought back memories of the extraordinary circumstances in which she became the sovereign just over 70 years ago when she visited the famous Treetop Safari Hotel in 1952. And speaking of extraordinary, the year 2022 saw Kenyans being ruled under two different governments. The Jubilee administration under former President Uhuru Kenyatta and the new regime under President William Ruto. The year began with a clamor of political campaigns as leaders from all elective posts raced with time and money to woo their supporters. And the most coveted one, the presidential race.
Bottom up! Bottom up!
A race that pitted President William Ruto on his Kenya Kwanza brigade, while on the other side of the political seesaw was a man who had done it all and seen it all. Trying on his fifth stab under the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition, Raila Odinga. The heated political campaign saw words exchanged.
Lakini hawa majamaa wakaleta ile maneno ya handshake, wakatupeleka mbuko mpaka kwa sijui rege. Alafu wakaturingia ati nobody can stop reggae. Reggae ilisimama haikusimama.
Mimi wakiniingilia ati sijui tulifanya handshake na mzee mwingine. Sasa hiyo handshake imelete shida, imelete sijui nini, hakuna kazi inaendelea.
And roadside promises uttered.
Sasa tutashirikiana serikali ya Kenya na wale wanatusaidia kujenga manyumba, ili tuwasaidie kupunguza gharama ya manyumba.
As politicians broke into song and dance as each played along to the tunes. And finally, the hula baloo of song and dance died down as the Electoral Commission took the center stage to conduct the 2022 general elections. The voting process in most parts of the country continued seamlessly as Kenyans remained glued to their screens. As different media outlets together with the IEBC tallied the presidential results. The end of the tallying process, however, signaled in the beginning of disgruntlement by a section of Kenyans as the results announced by the chairperson of the IEBC, Wafula Chebukati.
William Samoei. Number of valid votes, 7 million.
Did not sit well with everyone, including within the commission, with the 4 IEBC commissioners distancing themselves with the results that declared William Ruto the winner of the election. The losers in the election trooped to the Supreme Court, seeking to overturn the results. And after legal showdowns in the apex court, the 7-judge bench led by Chief Justice Martha Koome upheld the declaration of William Ruto as president. And on the 30th of September, thousands of Kenyans thronged the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani to witness the change of guard. This was followed by the formation of the new government through appointments of cabinet secretaries, principal secretaries, and the Inspector General Japheth Koome, among other state officers. The tunes of the controversial Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill 2020, popularly known as the Building Bridges Initiative (BBI), were also muted by the Supreme Court this year. The bill had for a long time received the backing of former President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM leader Raila Odinga, seeking to cure the winner-takes-it-all syndrome. However, according to the CJ Martha Koome, the BBI was unconstitutional. And for Miguna, 2022 will surely be a memorable year. The controversial lawyer and author, who had been staying in Canada for over 4 years after being ejected from the country in unclear circumstances, jetted in the country and headed straight for the Mashujaa Day celebrations, his face and speech filled with gratitude and freedom.
I must extend my gratitude to Kenyans that voted overwhelmingly for the Kenya Kwanza government, because that is central for me. Without this administration, I would not be back home.
The sense of freedom also greatly resonated among many Kenyans on the 11th of March, after the Ministry of Health lifted the mandatory wearing of masks. This saw the return to normalcy among places of worship, business, and even sports. This was occasion to a significant drop in the COVID-19 cases in the country. 2022 also had its dark sides. The worst drought in over a decade struck the country, resulting to the death of thousands of people and livestock, and leaving others in dire need in various parts of the country. The drought situation became one of the toughest assignments the new government had to deal with, and in response, the cabinet lifted the moratorium of the genetically modified products in September after 10 years of ban. The move sparked a push and pull, with the government defending its move, saying that it will solve the perennial food shortage, while those opposing it faulted the government for not involving Kenyans. This even as the CS Trade Moses Kuria hinted that the government will be ordering the importation of 10 million bags of maize duty-free. But for first-time Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza, this has been an exceptional year. Having trumped the high and mighty in the area during the August general elections to be elected as an independent candidate, Mwangaza had her light shining with her husband, Murega Baichu, stringing the guitar beside her. But this just didn't sit well with the MCAs, who wanted her gone, and for good, for alleged abuse of office and gross misconduct. Her time of reckoning had come on the 30th of this month, and she held on to her prayers. The 11-member special committee, chaired by Kakamega Senator Boni Halole, stated that none of the allegations made could be substantiated. And as curtains come down for the year 2022, we shall forever reminisce the lives of those we lost. Like veteran journalist Catherine Kasavuli, who breathed her last on the 30th day of December. Her death shocked the nation, with leaders and Kenyans alike trooping to social media to issue glowing tributes. Kasavuli passed on while receiving cancer treatment at the Kenyatta National Hospital.
Now watch this magnificent goal by Pele.
Across the borders, Kenyans joined the world in mourning the death of Brazilian football legend Pele, who had a glittering career decorated with almost all accolades and records after scoring more than 1,000 goals and being the only player in history to win 3 World Cup titles. And on the last day, just today, the world was saddened by the passing of the Pope Emerald Emeritus Benedict XVI in his residence at the Vatican's Mater Ecclesiae Monastery. Stanley Nyeringita, TV 47.